Hello, everyone. Thank you for popping on over here. I see there are 5 of us. This full moon is clearly giving me some problems today. Today with my technology. All right. Hello, how are you? Hello from New York. Hello, everybody. Just give me 2 seconds as I figure this out, because where I'm looking at my chat on my PC, it's not allowing me to see. It's not allowing me to see the chat. Okay, so we are definitely having some major internet problems. And I do apologize about that. It's been all day where I was a little bit worried this would happen, because the internet has been going in and out, and it's normally pretty reliable. It's normally pretty reliable here, but it doesn't look like today it is. So I can't actually see the chat. That's the issue that I'm having here at the moment. I can't see the chat, so I can't respond to you guys, which is like the whole point of, of going live, is so that I can connect with you guys. Let me just try one more thing. I'm just going to try one more thing here to make sure that I can see you guys and I can chat with you guys. Okay. It looks like it's working. Woof. All right. How long are we into this? How far are we into this? Almost 10 minutes into the chat. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this continues without any problems. So fingers crossed. Oh, all right. So how is everybody out there? How's everyone doing? Yes, Emily, thank you. Thanks for that confirmation. How are you guys doing under this full moon? It's not just any full moon, by the way. It's a super moon, so it's going to look amazing. I'm doing well. Actually, I'm doing really well, apart from feeling a little bit stressed about not being able to get this up and going smoothly, but... Oh, New Mexico, Galaxy Queen 88. My bestie is originally from Mexico. I hear wild stories about New Mexico. Yes, it's a harvest moon. Yeah, it's such a powerful moon, and it being a harvest moon and being a super moon and being a full moon in Aries it's powerful. Let's put it that way. And it's such a powerful time for us to really release anything that we've been holding on to, and I love it. For me, it's one of the it's almost as fun and exciting as the new year. How about Aries placements? Do you guys have any Aries placements? Because I have 0 Aries in my chart, and I was kind of chuckling to myself about that earlier, that I was like, but I love like the Aries full moon and the new moon. Aries full and Aries new moon are my favorites, and I have 0 Aries in my chart. And my Mars is ruled by Libra, so I'm just completely stunted when it comes to Aries energy. We have Empress Aries. I'm assuming you're an Aries sun. Does anybody else have any Aries placements? Oh, Emily, no Aries in your chart. But the guy you're dating is an Aries. Ooh, and oh, a male Aries. That should be fun. All right. Well, if the video is clear, just a really quick reminder that I have my astrology cards. Oh, an Aries rising. Galaxy Queen 88, are you my bestie? Because she's from New Mexico and she's an Aries rising. Watch out. Watch out. You're not a Virgo sun by any chance, are you? So sorry, I just got a little sidetracked by that. I'm like, seriously, I was like, a Virgo North Node, okay. Oh, I was like, wait a second, are you my bestie here? Just playing tricks on me. But anyway, so in case you want to know what sign we're on, you can look at the astrology cards here to the right, and they'll shift as I move through the reading. I am going to try to make these readings a little bit shorter than they have been in the past, just so that so we move through them. Hello, Cindy Dawes. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So I have our little red candle here for Aries energy, and also citrine is a really beautiful stone to work with during Aries season, or we're not in Aries season, but with this Aries lunation. And also, before we get started, I have, and I'm sure many of you have seen or have heard, that I have created an Aries full moon meditation on my other channel, Sacred Affirmations. I didn't get the chance to do it on my other channel in Spanish, so it is only in English. Time just got away from me, but if you want to check that out after this live stream, please go ahead. I do have it, well, I had it linked in the other description box, but let me see if I can link it for you really quickly. I think I have it here still, and I will link that there for the Aries full moon meditation. It's short, it's 10 minutes. But I love doing, for new moons and full moons, I love doing meditations and affirmations, but also doing a little bit of journaling. And I love working with moon magic. I feel like it's always been something that's been really powerful, and it's also something nice to go back and reflect on if you do indeed journal at this time with the full moon and the new moon, like what intentions you're setting, what it is you're releasing. So anyway, just a personal recommendation there. But check out the meditation if you feel called to do so. Like I said, it's really short. It's only about 10 minutes. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to be doing a 5-card spread. I'm going to clarify each card with just one other card. And we're going to take a look at what your heart needs to release, your emotional baggage, fear, or any past wounds. What truth is being illuminated for you under this full moon? Where you need to be more bold in love. So express your truth, set boundaries, or take the first step. And then we're going to take a look at what new energy is entering your life. So that can certainly be a person, but we'll just use our intuition here. And then what guidance and affirmation that this Aries full moon has for you. So we are going to be starting with Aries, and we'll be ending with Pisces. So let's go ahead and get started. Clear messages, advice, and guidance, please, for my Aries, or any Aries placements you may have. So your first card here, and I'm not going to be reading reversals here, but what your heart needs to release, emotional baggage, fear, or past wounds. We have the Star card, so this could be directly related to an Aquarius. What truth about love is being illuminated? We have the Seven of Pentacles. Where you need to be more bold in love, Aries. All right, we see the Nine of Wands. Okay. What new energy is entering your life? We have the Justice card. Okay, Libran energy. But I'm actually seeing something here already forming for my Aries, or my Aries placements here. I'm actually seeing that this full moon is going to actually be, is going to help you with balance, finding more balance, because you know that Aries has that impulsivity. So we'll see. What guidance does this moon have for you? So we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so it does look like there's definitely a new beginning here, a new beginning for you. But I feel like what your heart needs to release, we have the Star card. So it could be directly related to an Aquarius person, but I'm also seeing it could be related to some sort of tower moment, something that happened to you really unexpected. And you may also be a little bit worried here about, about your future, whether that's about finding the right person, or if you're already in a relationship, about where that relationship is going. Also, the Star card is all about playing the long game. So again, it may be that there was something that you rushed in and out of, or somebody else rushed in and out of a relationship with you, or maybe you have a tendency to rush into things. And I feel like Spirit's saying it's all about playing the long game here. Yeah, and we see the Three of Pentacles. So something here didn't work out. So rushing into connections with people who may not be completely compatible. It can be ignoring red flags, which often happens when we kind of focus on the passion. We can all kind of hear what we want to hear and ignore the stuff that we don't want to hear. So it's about really focusing on the long game, taking your time, really sussing people out, making sure that whomever you're allowing into your life is on the same page, whether that's you looking for marriage and commitment, or whether it's you looking for just a fling, right? But just making sure that you're really truly on the same page with someone. And releasing people that aren't, unapologetically letting go of people that just don't want the same things as you. The truth about love that's being illuminated for you here is the Seven of Pentacles. So again, an energy of strategy, an energy of patience, an energy of waiting. We've all heard, patience is a virtue, and holding back. So there's this really powerful message for my Aries folks out there about holding back, taking your time, really vetting and sussing people out. So you choose correctly, right? Now, where you need to be bold in love, or where you need to express your truth or set boundaries or take the first step, I feel like this is a little bit of a message with the Nine of Wands is, look, you've been through it. You're the wounded warrior. You still have a lot of fight in you, Aries. But there may be a need for you to set stronger boundaries or be more guarded, rather than just leaping headfirst into things, which I know is also your gift, right? I mean, that is all about Aries. Aries is all about taking that leap of faith, especially when the other signs, might not have that courage. But it's about, it's about waiting. Your whole message here is really clear, and I hate to sound like a broken record, Aries, but it's about really waiting for the right one. Or, and obviously nobody's going to be perfect, but really waiting for your ships to come in. So not necessarily moving forward with someone just because you're feeling lonely or because it's an impulse. All right. And what new energy is entering your life? Well, this certainly could be a Libra. But I also feel like it's this new energy, Aries, where you're weighing up your options, taking more time, recognizing that you don't have to be in a rush. Okay, whether it's in a particular connection or it's, waiting for the right one to come in. The right one comes in divine timing. And we see the Seven of Swords. So you could have a secret admirer here. Okay. You could have, someone, particularly a Libra. Now, this is also Moon in Aquarius. And it could be between now and the time that we have the full moon in Aquarius, which is going to be in January, that you have someone really important coming in, because your guidance here is the Ace of Wands. Get ready for something new, or get ready for a completely new way of doing things. All right, so let's take a look and see what else we need to know about this potential Libran energy coming towards you. Also, I'm getting, I'm getting Aquarius energy with the Seven of Swords. It could be a secret admirer. It could be a crush. It could be a connection where there's a little bit of secrecy around it. And I kind of feel like this full moon in Aries is actually, you're more balanced, and I think you're going to be keeping things closer to your chest as well until you see where this is going. Just because. So let's see who this person might be. Who this person might be for you, Aries. So maybe somebody who comes from a large family, okay, or has a large family. They appreciate the connection with their siblings and family reunions. They could be a Sagittarius or have strong Sag placements. So there's definitely going to be that fire between the two of you. A bold, fiery sign, comfortable leading others. All right, and look at that, your twin soul. So Spirit's saying it's coming. You've got this new beginning. And for a lot of my Aries out there, it's happening between now and that full moon in Aries. So get ready for something new. All right, your guidance or your affirmation for this full moon. We're going to take a look at the Akashic Records Oracle card here. And we have healing. Your body, mind, and soul are in a period of deep healing right now. You're going through many transformations at once. And I did kind of get this Tower energy here. And with that Star card coming through as your first card, that you're going through this healing, many transformations at once. And you're being asked to allow yourself to receive the healing you need with open arms and an open heart. Oh, I love that. Yeah, because this healing is what's going to be setting you up, lining you up here, Aries, for this brand new beginning. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending you so much love and light, my lovely Aries. And we're going to move right on into the next sign. Ooh, Mars in Sagittarius, Emily Diaz, and a Venus in Libra. Ooh, what a romantic. Such a beautiful placement. All right, so we're going to be moving on to Taurus. Hi, Franklin. How are you? Welcome in. Harsha, Gemini will be coming in next. I had a little bit of a difficulty getting the live started due to technical difficulties. So we're just moving in to Taurus. So right after that, it will be Gemini. Yeah, I figured as much. All right, thank you, Nola Sunflower. I appreciate you monitoring and being here and your love and support. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's going on here for my Taurus. So first we're going to take a look at Taurus, what your heart needs to release. Emotional baggage, fear, or past wounding. Do we have any Taurus placements in the chat? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? All right, so we have the Eight of Pentacles here, my Taurus, what you need to release, okay? What truth about love is being illuminated? Okay, something here that you're not seeing, so definitely some sort of truth being illuminated for you. Where do you need to be more bold in love? We see the Two of Cups. All right. So where you need to express your truth or set boundaries or take the first step, definitely in relationships. So I'm getting like an energy of needing to set boundaries here in relationships and speak your truth. Some of my Taurus out there might have a blocked throat chakra when it comes to relationships, maybe not speaking up about your needs or when your boundaries are crossed. What new energy is entering your life? So we see the Five of Pentacles, but I love this Five of Pentacles or any Five of Pentacles when two people show up on the card, because this is my death do us part card. This is through thick or thin, in sickness and in health, right? All right, and what guidance or affirmation does the moon have for you? We see the Five of Swords. All right, interesting. So pay attention to fives, repeating fives here for my lovely Taurus. I do think that there are big changes, but I actually do feel like you're meeting someone or a relationship here is going to be improving or healing. But it's because you're really standing up for yourself. You're really sticking up for yourself. You're really speaking your mind. You're really going for it. You're dropping into a much more bold energy, which makes a lot of sense here with this full moon in Aries. All right, so what your heart needs to release: emotional baggage, fear, or past wounds. Sometimes, my Taurus, you may be the ones that are always putting in the work, doing the heavy lifting in relationships. I'm also seeing too, there's like a status quo here with relationships, a status quo with your relationships here that needs to change. Like there may be a need to do things differently, whether you're with somebody currently or you're looking for someone. It's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's the message I'm getting. So it's time to release doing the same thing over and over again. And for a lot of you, it's you doing the heavy lifting. All right. Yeah. And with the Six of Swords, we're getting this confirmation that it's time to leave hurt and heartbreak in the past. You're moving into calmer waters. Recognize that what you've been through has made you who you are. It's made you stronger. It's made you wiser. And yes, we don't have to forget what we've been through, but we don't necessarily always have to carry those wounds, with us into the next relationship. The truth about love that's being illuminated here is the Ace of Swords. Now, this did want to come out in reverse. So I do feel for some of my Taurus, it could indicate having a blocked throat chakra. And obviously, having a blocked throat chakra can signify problems in that area with your teeth, your jaws, laryngitis, things like that. But it really talks about either having a habit of talking all the time, not knowing when to stay quiet, or the opposite, not being able to speak up for yourself, to set boundaries or to stand up. Taurus, maybe to keep the peace. Or maybe some of my Taurus out there are conflict avoidant. You may not have been setting boundaries and really speaking up for yourself here. So that's a truth that needs to be illuminated. And we see the Knight of Cups, and this is about you recognizing that the right person isn't going to be bothered by you setting boundaries and you speaking your truth. The right person is going to love you and accept you exactly how you are, and appreciate as well. Appreciate when you say, hey, I don't like this, or I don't want this, or this doesn't work for me, or my needs aren't getting. Be bold in love, Two of Cups in your relationship. And where you need to set boundaries, or maybe even you need to take this first step, or the initiative, is in your relationships, Two of Cups, but your intimate relationships. And we see the Page of Swords again, throat chakra energy. Yeah, speaking up. Again, this could also be that maybe you have a secret admirer. Spirit saying harness this full moon in Aries energy to speak up. Tell them how you feel. We oftentimes regret the things that we don't do and not the things that we did, or the things that we did or the things that we do. even if it doesn't result in the way that we wanted it to, but if we keep it like, oh, I really wish I had told that person how I felt about them. I really wish I had told my partner, how I was feeling, what I needed. And again, that can be in the relationship. It can be in the bedroom as well. I feel like Spirit saying, yes, it's time. This full moon for you, Taurus, this full moon in Aries is about you unblocking that throat chakra, speaking your mind. New energy that's entering your life. We have the Five of Pentacles. Now, this card did want to come out in reverse. So this, as I mentioned earlier, it is my Death Do Us Part card. And there are two people, and they're in it through thick or thin. Now, there could be somebody here coming in to heal things with you. If you're in a current relationship and there have been some difficulties, or it hasn't been as, loving or peaceful or whatever it might be, I feel, for others of you holding back, that's really going to come into your life and help you feel less alone, right? That person who just makes you feel that much less lonely on this journey. And we see the Six of Pentacles coming through. Yeah, so somebody here who completes you in the most harmonious ways. So somebody here who's either been missing you, Taurus, or somebody who's just been hoping that they find and they meet someone just like you. I love that. The Six of Pentacles is one of my soulmate cards, right? And it's, I think it's Rumi who stated it best, that what you're looking for is also looking for you. And so this Aries full moon is definitely bringing you someone here who's been wishing for you. That's what I'm getting. Who's been wanting to either heal things with you or has been feeling as lonely as you may have been feeling. So let's see who this person might be. We see karmic soulmate. Don't let this put you off. That doesn't mean that you avoid this connection. It doesn't even mean that it has to be bad. So you're meant to learn lessons in this connection and help each other evolve. And that can be a long-term connection that, goes the distance. And those lessons don't have to be painful ones. They can be a reminder that you're not alone, or that you can trust this person. You can strip down, be emotionally naked with this person. Okay. And maybe somebody with a strong water placement, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And we have somebody, again, may come from a large family or maybe wants a large family, someone who appreciates the connection with their siblings and their family reunions. All right. Now, what guidance or affirmation this moon has for you here is the Five of Swords. This is about unapologetically going for it. All right, this is my card. Oftentimes in a career reading, it's like about being cutthroat. But again, that swords energy, unblocking your throat chakra and really just going for it and speaking your truth. The right person is not going to be put off by your truth. And even if they are, the right person isn't going to run from your truth. Okay, so let's see what affirmation we have here for my Taurus. What affirmation do we have for my Taurus under this Aries full moon? All right, so we have gratitude. So there's always something to be grateful for, Taurus, even in the darkest of situations. Now is the time to recognize what is going well in your life and what you are thankful for. Yeah, and gratitude is the best way to also call in what we're looking for, what we're trying to manifest, focusing on things that we do have, the things that we're thankful for. So I love that message for you. All right, so let's go ahead and move right along into Gemini. But I wanted to say hello to High Priestess Full Moon. Welcome into the chat. Hello, Renee Tyler from Vegas. Cha-ching. All right, Amy, Cancer Twin. If you're speaking to me, I love you too. Sherry from Arizona. Welcome into the chat. All right, Harsha, girl from India. Oh, I love India. I've actually been to India, but it was way back in 1995. Not to date myself, but I was in India, New Delhi, in 1995, and I have to say it was one of the most life-changing experiences. I was just a kid back then. I was only 6. I do think it really shaped my life forever. And just such a beautiful country, beautiful people. And last night I was actually eating Indian food. I'm here in the Dominican Republic, and there is a lovely Indian family that has a restaurant here that's fantastic. Fantastic. Anyway, Indian food is one of my favorites. All right. So, hello, Carla Johnson. Welcome in. Yes, Sherry, I'm so happy that you could catch this live. All right, Geminis. Let's go ahead and see what is going on here for my lovely Geminis. As many of you know, I'm a Venusian Gemini. I do feel like it's kind of a cursed placement. It's fun. It's a fun placement. It's a fun placement for sure. But sometimes it feels like a cursed placement to have your Venus in Gemini. Do we have any other Venusian Geminis in the house? Yes, Emily Diaz, come back to the DR. It's lovely here. Juliana Ramos, my Venus is in Gemini, so I say I'm a Venusian Gemini. It's just the adjective form of Venus. Yeah, I was an English teacher for many years, so sorry for being a nerd about some grammar there. And now I'm asking, is it the adjective form of Venus? Yes. Venusian is the adjective form of Venus. All right, let's get into Gemini. I know you're waiting. I know my gems are out there waiting, and here I am lollygagging. Hello, Truth Lies Beneath. Welcome in. So excited to have you here. Oh, Harsha, thank you. Oh, thank you, Renee. Getting my nails done is one of my favorite things. And the woman who does my nails, she's a Capricorn, and she's lovely. She's absolutely lovely. We're best friends. Well, not best friends, but she's up there. She's in my top 5. All right, Nola, you've got a moon in Gemini. It's probably similar to having a Venus in Gemini. All right, Gemini, here we go. What your heart needs to release. We have Temperance energy. So we have Sagittarius energy. Some of you may have been holding back, but this certainly can be the opposite too. So we're going to clarify. Some of you, this could be rushing into things. Some of you may need to release a Sagittarius person, or something that happened to you back in Sagittarius season, maybe a year ago, that you may still be carrying around with you. What truth about love is being illuminated for my Geminis? The 5 of Swords. All right. Where you need to be bold in love, we see the Chariot card, Cancerian energy. All right. What new energy is entering your life? We have the 2 of Cups. So Geminis, looks like you've got a soulmate here coming in. Possible relationship, let's see. And your guidance or your affirmation is the Page of Wands. Go for it. Yeah, I feel, I'm getting like an interesting message off of this Chariot card for my gems. I'm getting like where you need to be more bold in love. Some of you, now, maybe this isn't all for all of you, but some of you it's about, I'm getting expressing affection. Like expressing more affection, or like telling people like you need to be cuddled, or you need to be touched, or you need to be hugged. I'm getting like either like you hold back in those areas, or maybe you hold back in telling people that what you need is, but I'm getting like very physical energy. So not necessarily like sexual energy, but I'm getting more like when you need to be held, you need somebody to just give you that hug, or you want somebody to hold your hand when you walk down the street, or you reaching out and taking somebody's hand. That's kind of the energy there I'm getting off of that Chariot card that I just wanted to say before that message left me. But what your heart needs to release: emotional baggage, fear, or past wounds. We have Temperance energy. So like I said, some of you, there could be something around a Sagittarius person. For others of you, I kind of got an energy of like holding back here. And holding back maybe to avoid conflict. Maybe possibly also letting certain people go because you didn't feel like, you didn't want to put yourself out there and fight for it and look like the one who was thirsty or needy or desperate. Yeah, I kind of get with that Temperance energy. Some of you have been maybe holding back a little bit too much. Okay, let's see. Why do we have this Temperance energy? And the Ten of Swords. So it also looks like you're still in the process, or you have been healing here from some sort of very painful ending. A divorce, a separation, some sort of personal loss here. But this is a relationship reading. So for my Gemini, some of you, there's still some pain and some heartbreak here that still needs to be released. That, again, it could be something that happened last, like November, December, or it could be having to do with a Sagittarius person. And it doesn't have to be either one of those things, but it does look like you're carrying around some negative attachments here. I'm seeing potential soul retrieval that needs to take place. Now, if you don't know about soul retrieval, it's one of my favorite healing modalities. I've only ever done it through meditation. So if you do a Google on soul retrieval, it may be really beneficial here. Some of you also may need to do some cord cutting. And again, I've worked with energy healers to do cord cutting for myself. But you can also do that through meditations if you just, search on YouTube for cord cutting or soul retrieval. Soul retrieval is when we leave a part of ourselves in the past in some sort of traumatic event. And it can really affect us in the present. So it's like pulling those past parts of ourselves back into the present so that we're whole. So that we feel whole in our energy, so our energy isn't scattered or leaking, for lack of a better word. But yeah, I do feel that some of you, there's definitely some pain and heartbreak. But I don't love this Ten of Swords, because for some of my Geminis, you've picked up some negative attachments that do need to be released here. And remember, we can pick up okay, so just be aware of that. So there may be an energetic cleanse here for my Geminis. The truth about love that's being eliminated, we have the Five of Swords. So I feel like there's a need to, there's a need here for my gems to fight for it a little bit more. To be unapologetic. Sorry, this is the Seven of Swords, but I'm reading it as the Five of Swords. I still feel like there's a need for my Geminis to be unapologetic about really fighting for what it is that you want, rather than maybe being too quick to say, oh, well, I don't care, or, oh, well, I'll let this person go, I don't need to chase them. Now, by no means am I advocating chasing somebody or, groveling or anything like that, but I am getting more of a message of like, when it is something that you really want, don't fall, like, take the easy way out and not fight for it because you don't want to look silly or feel bad. Like, go for it. Now, I'm also seeing, now that my guides are showing me this is the Seven of Swords, it makes a lot of sense here that there's some negative attachments that have been draining your energy, okay? So again, there may be a need for that energetic cleanse, that cord cutting, or you may need to release people or situations here that, like I said, are draining your time, your energy, your love, your money, your resources, but there's definitely something there for my Geminis. All right. Yeah. And we see the Eight of Cups coming through. Yeah. There's something here that may be keeping you, holding you back. And I'm getting it's much more energetic in nature. So like I said, maybe some, chakra balancing, some cord cutting, soul retrieval, things like that are going to be really helpful, because there is something here that's been holding you back. It may even be somebody who's wishing you to not move forward, because sometimes somebody's energy can really be pulling on us. And this can be friends and family. It doesn't necessarily have to be an ex, but it does feel like there's somebody here there's some energetic attachment there that need to be released. I'm going to move away from that message because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. But where you need to be bold in love, we see the Chariot card. So the Chariot card is, in a lot of ways, the definition of boldness. The charioteer in ancient Rome was a fighter. Didn't fear anything, went right into battle. So I do feel with that Cancerian energy, it's about really fighting for what you want, not walking away really super easily from the things that you want or when things get difficult. And I did go on earlier, the first message I got was also about speaking up here, because believe it or not, the Chariot card is related to the throat chakra and speech. We don't normally talk about that, but there is a correlation between the Chariot card and speech. So speaking up when, again, you need a hug, you need, to be cuddled, or you want to make out, whatever it might be. All right. So just expressing your truth. And we see the Hanged Man. Yeah, I feel like Spirit's saying it's time to move forward. I really do think, look at these chains that are wrapped up on our Hanged Man here. I think there's really, for a lot of my Geminis, some energetic cords that have been keeping you stuck. And you might know exactly what it is. You might not have any idea. And again, that's where energy work, or someone you trust, an energetic healer may come in for you, because it is time to have this breakthrough. It is time to break free. Now, the new energy that's entering your life, Gemini, we have the Two of Cups. All right, so we have a relationship here, a partnership. Ooh, and we have the Six of Cups. So it could be the return of someone, but I'm reading it more so like a really sweet, sincere soulmate connection, possibly somebody you're crushing on or who's been crushing on you. So let's see who this person is. Okay, it might be coming in. I don't know why I'm getting Scorpio season. So it may be coming in actually sooner rather than later. But who is this person for my Geminis? And obviously it can be the return of someone, but this person may be retired, but I know that's kind of like not in everybody's wheelhouse, somebody who's 65 plus. But this is somebody who enjoys their personal time. They have more flexibility in their schedule. They might be a little bit older than you. But most of you, I'm sure you've heard me say it a bazillion times, it can also be somebody who's had two distinct careers. Okay, so somebody who, is a retired, fireman or fire person or teacher or something like that. But regardless of that, this person has personal time. They have more flexibility in their schedule. We get that Sagittarius energy coming through again. They're known as a teacher and a knowledge seeker. They're bold, they're fiery, they're comfortable stepping up and taking the lead. All right, so your opposite signs there with Sagittarius. And this person may own their own business. So they invest effort and creativity into personal fulfillment and wealth. But they may be a business owner or working towards that. And for those of you where this person is retired, they may have sold their business, or they let their business, they let their partner take over or something. And this person is also going to be quite intense, Gemini. So the depth of their thoughts and emotions indicate that they're really intelligent and they're really focused on you, but also on whatever it is they put their mind to. So there's a real intensity there. Ooh, so it looks good. All right. Now we see the Page of Wands. Some of you, I'm getting it may be coming in by Sagittarius season. I'm seeing the Pisces-Sag axis here. Now I'm just making that up because it's my Sagittarius axis. So I feel like it's probably going to be, let me just restate that so that it makes sense. If I'm getting Sagittarius season may bring this person to you, and they may also have Sagittarius placements, but I'm getting that it's going to be in between, like I got Scorpio earlier as well, so like November, December, January, February, in that time period where this relationship comes towards you or comes back towards you. All right, now let's see what your affirmation is for this full moon in Aries is it's time for some reflection. And isn't this interesting? If you look at this card, Geminis, you know how the Geminis are symboled by the twins. You know, we have two people here. We have this twin energy. You're being asked to reflect on your recent choices. What lessons have they taught you? Reflection is the mirror to your soul's growth. Use it to deepen your understanding and intuition. So take this time as a time for reflection. You're going to know with this Page of Wands, you're going to know when it's time to take action. And I think you're going to do it in a bold and fiery way with the help of this Aries full moon when the time comes. All right, so I'm going to leave it there, Geminis. I'm sending you so much love and light. I feel like that was a longer reading, maybe because I've got a lot of Geminis in the chat. All right. All right. Welcome in, Amy and Beck Cross. Oh, Australia. Beautiful. Okay, so it's early in the morning on Tuesday in Australia. Beautiful. Welcome in, Mandy J. I'm not going to answer any personal questions just yet because I do get really easily sidetracked. And I know myself, and I'll sit here and I will answer personal questions until, tomorrow morning. All right. Rita Masood, Pakistan, welcome in. I was in Pakistan. I was in Lahore the same time I was back in India back in 1995. And that was quite an experience, very lovely experience. Hello, Stephen. How are you? Hello, Carmen, Cindy Dawes, Brooke Casey. Welcome into the chat. Susie, welcome in. So happy to have you all here. And again, thank you so much, Nola Sunflower, for being our moderator this evening. All right, so now we're moving on to Cancer energy. All right, so I know I have a Cancer twin in the chat. Yes, Lahore. I would love to come again because, I was only 15 when I was there. And so I'd love to go back and see everything through the eyes of an adult, if I may consider myself an adult. All right, FG, Forever Grateful. Now I remembered that. Sorry, I got so excited. I remembered. All right, Forever Grateful, Cancer rising. Yes, and don't forget to hit that like button. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea how thankful I am and honored when I've done these live chats to have you all here and especially see some of you come back my way. I don't know, it makes me feel so good. So good and forever grateful. All right, so Cancers, what your heart needs to release. We see the 9 of Pentacles. All right, Cancers, are we being a little bit too independent here, hyper independent? The truth about love that's being illuminated, Magician energy, Virgo, Gemini. Where you need to be bold in love or express your truth or set boundaries, King of Wands. So this is about being bolder in love. Some of you, it's speaking up in the bedroom. What new energy is entering your life? The Queen of Wands. Look at that. We have the King and the Queen of Wands here. Power couple. I'm also getting it's going to be quite a steamy connection here, Cancer. And what guidance or affirmation does this new moon have for you? The 3 of Pentacles. So I'm seeing that you have a very compatible connection here. Now, maybe some of you are already in it. For those of you who are looking, it looks like just, your affirmation here is everything is working out for me exactly the way it's supposed to. All right, so we have the 9 of Pentacles. Cancer, this is telling me that you guys are in a really beautiful energy. You're looking good, you're feeling good, you have everything you need, but you may not have love. Now, some of you may be in a connection. But I'm also getting, because of the placement of this card, what your heart needs to release. Some of you, you've gotten really used to being on your own. and you may be hyper independent, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's a beautiful energy to be in, where you know you don't really need anybody else to like fix you, to make you happy. But I feel like you're not really meant to be alone, is kind of the energy I'm getting here with the King and the Queen of Wands. Now, that doesn't mean you just, that you rush things or anything like that. But I feel like there's this energy of like being alone that needs to be released. So it may be that you need to start spending more time with friends and family, especially if you've been in hermit mode, going out, or recognizing that, humans, and there's nothing wrong with being alone. There's a time to be alone, and some of us enjoy being alone, and, and that can be a life choice, and I'm not trying to criticize that. But I feel like some of my Cancers, you're in this energy of the Nine of Pentacles, which is a beautiful independent energy, but because you're worried about getting your heart broken, okay? You're worried about letting somebody in, or letting somebody in and them disrupting your peace, all right? And Spirit's saying it may be time to release that, because the right person isn't going to disrupt your peace. The wrong person will, okay? So the Nine of Pentacles. Some of my Cancers too, it may be a time for you with the Nine of Pentacles to take a look at, diet and exercise, your health and your wellness. So it doesn't just have to be diet and exercise, but also doing your daily practice, whatever that might involve: yoga, meditation, walking, going to the gym. But I do think there's some of my Cancers out there, this is a little bit of a wake-up call to get your health in order. Pay attention to your sleep as well, as what's coming through. All right, so the Nine of Pentacles, yeah, talking about sleep, the Four of Swords. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to leave that there as far as like what your heart needs to release. And some of you too, there's a mindset that there are no good ones out there, or there's nobody that's really truly meant for me. Spirit's saying it's time to release that. Because the truth about love that's being illuminated is the Magician card, Virgo, Gemini energy. First of all, you have what it takes to have the love, the life, the career, whatever it is that you're looking for. You have what it takes to make that happen. It's also a reminder that, our thoughts become things. What we think, what we believe, what we imagine becomes our reality. But I'm also seeing the truth about love is that the Magician card is somebody, Virgo, Gemini energy, who may check all of our boxes. Okay? And Spirit's telling you to not give up hope or faith on that, especially if you've dropped into everybody sucks, the dating pool is horrible, people lie, there's nobody out there for me. Okay? Spirit's saying we need to revise that thinking. Yeah, and we see the King of Cups. Also recognizing that how powerful and awesome you are, Cancer, and everything that you bring to the table. Because some of my Cancers out there may be second guessing your worth and your value. Well, maybe it's me that's not good enough, or maybe I'm not pretty enough or good looking enough, or whatever it is. Maybe I don't make enough money, whatever it is. Spirit's saying we need to stop that right now. All right, and recognize what you bring to the table. All right, and where you need to be bold in love, we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is all about being bold in love. The King of Wands sets his sight on something and he really goes for it. So it's putting yourself out there. It's about making yourself feel good, whatever makes you feel good, and putting yourself out there and recognizing how attractive you are. And I'm not just talking about physical, right? I mean, for some of you, yes, that is the case, or maybe for a lot of you it's the case, but being attractive is a state of mind, and it's also something that's coming from within you. I did get a message about, for some of you, this is about needing to be more bold when it comes to asking for what you want and what you need in the bedroom, okay? And that's for those of you who are in a relationship. I keep getting this message, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get in trouble if I say it, but my guides keep saying, and excuse me for saying it, but my guides keep saying life is too short to fake orgasms. Okay, King of Wands energy. I'm going to leave it there. It came out earlier, or it wanted to come out earlier, and I didn't say it, but it keeps coming through. All right, and we see the Seven of Cups. Yeah, some of you, it's about taking the first step. Some of you, it's about also where you're meeting people. I don't personally do online dating or dating apps and things like that. And but it's some of you, maybe it is about getting back out there in whatever form feels the best for you. You know, and you may also want to express your truth. You know, for those of you, my Cancers out there who are dating and you're really trying to vet the right person. Expressing your truth about, yeah, right now I'm not jumping into any relationship. I'm getting to know people. And you know, I may be talking to, or I might be dating a couple of people at this time because I want to see who's the best fit for me, and being okay with telling people that if that's the case. All right. Okay, so what new energy is entering your life? We have the Queen of Wands, so you very well, it looks like you have somebody who's a really perfect match. Some of you, you might meet this person online. The Seven of Cups is my online dating card, but that's not going to be for all of you. This is a power couple. This is also a very sexy, very steamy connection. It's a perfect match, and this person could have Cancer placements. This could also be happening between now and the Cancer full moon, which is going to be December or January. I don't know exactly when the Cancer full moon is. So again, this could be somebody who just embodies Cancerian energy. They're coming in hot, they're coming in fast. Spirit's mantra for you is to remember that everything is working out in your favor, even when it doesn't feel that way, right? But that you're on the right path. But it looks like this person, they're going to be showing up in your life here, Cancer. But that doesn't mean that you don't start and build that momentum by putting yourself out there. Okay, so it's one thing to want to manifest someone and, you know, sit in our homes all day and, you know, well, this person hasn't showed up, nobody's knocked on my door, what am I doing wrong? You know, it is also about being bold, feeling good about yourself, making changes that some of you know you need to make. Start doing that, build that momentum, because Spirit's telling you here, Cancer, to prepare. Okay, we have Daddy's Girl coming in. Now, you know my readings are not meant to be gender specific, but this could be somebody who has a daughter from a previous relationship. I also read this card as somebody who is close with their father, whether they're alive or crossed over. So they could be a caregiver for their father. They could look or act a lot like their dad. This person's going to surprise you. So they're going to come into your life when you least expect it. All right. And we see they could be an entrepreneur, or they have that entrepreneurial energy. They work hard. They're investing in their future. All right. And we see differences coming through. So you're connecting with someone of another race, religion, or culture from your own. And again, we get strong fire and strong Cancerian energy with this person. So be on the lookout, because for a lot of my Cancers, this is a powerful connection coming in. And I do feel like it's coming between now and that full moon in Cancer. All right. Which, like I said, is happening in Capricorn season. Your mantra or your affirmation for this full moon in Aries is, again, I'm on the right path. Everything's working out for me. Now let's take a look at the Akashic Records Oracle. Forgiveness. Oh, I love this. Deer are my spirit animals. Withholding forgiveness only hurts you and prolongs the pain. It's time to forgive someone, or maybe even yourself, so you can stay on the path of your highest potential, because you are on that path, Cancer, to your highest potential. All right. And sorry, this just fell out. I'm sure you saw that, Cancer. You have a caring connection. Dolphins, the King and the Queen of Wands, soulmate energy. A new supportive relationship is on the horizon. It might be a kindred spirit, or possibly even romance. Well, in this reading, it's a romance. It could be someone new, or the deepening of an existing relationship. Open your heart. Ooh, all right. Hot damn, Cancers. So it looks like you have somebody coming in. All right. So now we're going to move right on into Leo. Thank you, Amy, for your kind words. I truly appreciate it. Oh, and Emily, thank you as well. You guys are too sweet, too kind. Lolly, you're a Gemini. You're a Venusian Gemini. Yes, it does feel kind of like a cursed placement. It's fun. All right, Leo rising. Yes, it's Leo time. Yes, my Leos, my lovely Leos. I just recently adopted a street cat. He was super skinny when he was hanging out in the apartment across from mine that they were renovating, and he was skinny, and he's just a cat, you know, he's like white and he's got some patches. I'm sure he's a Leo. But I'm gonna post a picture if I remember. He's an island boy. He's you know, he likes the heat, but I sleep in the AC here. More so for the mosquitoes, because I don't have screens on my windows yet. And the AC, when you turn it on, it keeps the mosquitoes away. And it's, you know, more comfortable to sleep that way. But my cat, he wants to sleep with us, but he doesn't always like the cold. So anyway, he's taken cues from my mini pincher, and he sleeps under the blankets now. It's so cute. But he was under this little leopard print blanket last night, and just his little pink paws were sticking out. It was cute. Anyway, I just felt like I needed to tell my Leos that, because I kept calling him my little lion. You know, he's like my little Leo, and he acts like a Leo. He's bold. He's bold, and he's very passionate. This street cat of mine. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. So now we're gonna move right into Leo. Handsome Wolfie. This is not just for rising signs. Really, any Leo placement. You know, sun, moon, rising, or Venus. You can also check your north node. Truthfully, whatever you feel called to, you know, whatever you feel called to watch for. But usually I like to think sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, Leos. All right, so let's get into this. So what does your heart need to release? Any emotional baggage, fear, or past wounding? So what do my Leos, what does their heart need to release here with this full moon in Aries? All right, so the King of Pentacles. So it could be an earth sign. Okay, we'll see. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or something having to do with an earth sign. What truth about love is being illuminated? The King of Cups. Okay. Where do you need to be more bold in love? The Hanged Man. Okay. Or where do you need to express your truth or set boundaries or take the first step? Pisces energy. What new energy is entering your life? Holy smokes, the Star card, possibly an Aquarius or a deep healing. This can be wish fulfillment. And what your guidance is, or your affirmation with this full moon in Aries, we have the Knight of Swords. All right, and well, we see the Ace of Cups here, so it does look like you have somebody new, or you have a new cycle in love here, Leo. The King of Pentacles, what your heart needs to release, emotional baggage, fear, or past wounds. Some of my Leos I'm getting with this King of Pentacles, you may be feeling a bit drained here. Maybe you've been dealing with people or calling in people who are superficial, people who look good on paper, or they kind of talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk energy. And I do feel, you know, my Leos, when you love hard, you love big. And I feel like you don't always get that in return. So some of you, you're starting to feel a little bit drained. Some of you too, there's a little bit of a need to look a little bit deeper. Okay. Now, by no means am I saying my Leos here, you're superficial, or that you don't look, you know, beyond, you know, you don't look beyond the surface of people. But for some of you, you may have gotten distracted by someone's good looks, or how they present themselves, or again, what they look like on paper, but there wasn't really that deep connection, or there wasn't, you know, or they were future faking, right? Or they came off as like really awesome, and you kind of bought it, and then turns out they weren't really who you thought they were. Okay, so I feel like there may be some emotional baggage around that. There's some fear that is going to be repeated, And some of you, I do get, you've straight up been used, and some you may have been in a relationship or dealing with people that were, you know, draining your time, your energy, your love, your money for some of you. This may have even been something that affected your health. So it's time to release that. Yeah, and the Nine of Swords here is, some of you, my Leos, you've been calling in nightmare relationships. But maybe it kind of feels like there's the same pattern that keeps repeating itself. And I'm getting that, you know, it always ends up being a bit of stress for you. You know, it ends up being a bit of stress. So it's time to release that, release those patterns. The truth about love that's being illuminated, we have the King of Cups. There could be a water sign, okay? Somebody who's going to be revealing their love for you. But I also feel like, you know, there's a reminder here, like the King of Cups has a lot of strength. The King of Cups, even though he's a water sign, which typically we peg as very emotional, you know, maybe even overly emotional at times, there's a real strength here. And I feel like that is also Leo energy in a lot of ways. My Leos have and embody strength and in showing their emotions. And so I feel like Spirit saying, don't stop being that bold, emotional you. There's a strength in doing that. All right. I'm also seeing there may be some sort of heartbreak. I'm seeing this King of Cups holding on to this trident. And so there may have been like a third party situation here as well that somebody put you in or that you were involved in that you've been holding on to that may be something that still needs to be healed or that you need to let go of. Okay. And we see the Seven of Wands. Yeah. That, you know, I feel like some of my Leos, you may be feeling like emotionally you end up being the one that gives too much in relationships and that you need to protect your energy. Now, of course, that is true. I mean, you don't want to emotionally invest too quickly. But with the Seven of Wands here, I kind of feel like Spirit saying, like, it's okay, Leo, to be vulnerable because you have the strength. You have the strength to get through anything. After what you've been through, you have the strength to get through anything. All right. Now, where you need to be bold in love or express your truth. Now, obviously, it could be with a Pisces or a Pisces person. Oh, thank you, handsome Wolfie. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right. Where you need to be bold in love or express your truth. We have the Hanged Man. You know, it could be with a Pisces or with a Pisces person. I also feel like it's an interesting, I kind of feel like some of, again, you may have been holding back, protecting your energy, worried about being vulnerable again with the wrong person. But I'm also seeing that you've gained so much knowledge and wisdom from the karmic lessons that you've learned. You've been through a major awakening. I mean, we see that with the Nine of Swords. So I feel like it's also being able to trust yourself and to move forward and know that you're seeing love and people differently, but that you can also trust this new version of yourself, okay, and continue to be emotionally vulnerable. Yeah, and you know, release that past baggage. Let go. It's like it's okay to let go of the baggage that we're carrying around and to travel lightly, if that makes sense, because you're ready for a passionate new beginning. You're ready to leave the past in the past. And I feel like Spirit's saying that, also confirming that you're really ready for this new beginning. All right. The new energy that's entering your life. Now, this is wish fulfillment. This is healing first and foremost. So a lot of you are healing from possibly being put in that third situation, from overgiving, from these nightmare relationships. You're releasing that baggage. You're seeing things differently. You're much wiser because of it. So there's this deep healing energy, but it feels like you have wish fulfillment coming in, possibly an Aquarius person. Look, we also possibly a Cancerian. Okay. But this is somebody who's loving, nurturing, creative, somebody who also thinks outside of the box, somebody who's going to tell it to you straight. Okay. Yeah, this is what you've been waiting for. There's also this major breakthrough. All right, so let's go ahead and see who this person might be for my Leos. Again, Aquarius, I'm getting this might be coming in the new year. This person or this relationship coming in, or healing of an old relationship, but it feels like a new energy. Maybe coming in Capricorn, Aquarius season. All right, so that's January, February. It could be a fellow Leo or a Cancer Leo cusper. All right, somebody who's ruled by fire. They're passionate, they're playful, they like attention, just like my lovely Leos out there. Strength and resilience is their hallmark, so they've, seen some shit too, right? And this is somebody who's creative. They potentially enjoy art, working with their hands, music, putting their ideas to work. They could consider themselves a creative. And they're also somebody who's quite intense, but they're going to match your intensity, Leo, which I think a lot of my Leos out there really need. All right. And look at that. Speaking of intensity, they could have some strong Scorpio placements. So somebody protective, loyal, they stand strong in their convictions. They can sting if needed to defend their position. So your mantra here for this Aries full moon is what guidance or affirmation, what your mantra or your guidance or your affirmation for this Aries full moon is to see clearly and to go for it. I feel like muddled thinking is on its way out here for my Leos. All right, let's just see. And Spirit saying, get ready for a fresh start. So your affirmation under this Aries full moon is you're being given the opportunity to begin again. Allow yourself to embrace this new life and open up fully to this gift that you've been given. Get ready, fresh start, new beginning, something you've been waiting for, healing. Such beautiful energy here for my lovely Leos. All right, I'm going to leave it here. Sending my Leos out there love and light. So excited for you. All right, I am going to just step away for a second because if I told you guys the whole story, I left some food out on the stove covered, but not my cat. My cat has some, I know I sound like the crazy old cat lady, and that may very well be where I'm headed. But we have a lot of strays, and I can't help but show them some love. But one of them stole food off of my counter the other day. So I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to make sure all is well. 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that little pause. Crazy cat lady had to take care of her crazy cats, all right. I will wear the crazy cat lady badge with honor. Because I love all animals. And if I sat and told you my life story, you would really think I'm crazy. But I lived in Colombia for 10 years, and the reason I was where I was for so long is because I worked with and adopted cats and dogs who were on the street, and I would only take in the ones who eye or had a giant wound that was infected and things like that. So I would only take in the worst of the worst. And anyway, all of those animals are taken care of, and there's I still actually to this day every month pay for them to be taken care of and fed. I built out a small refuge in the back of a friend's house, and so I have this friend who helps me take care of the remaining animals that I had. Just a little FYI there. But anyway, I absolutely love animals, and it's a cause that's super near and dear to my heart. But I'm trying to also make sure that I don't end up with a bunch of animals here as well, because Yeah, because I want to do things differently. But anyway, little sidetrack story about crazy cat lady over here. I'm the crazy cat lady in the best possible way. I'll assure you that. All right. Ah, Leo babe. Yeah, you've had a few strays at your house too lately. I know. I just, sweet Carolina, I was in Santa Marta for 10 years. All right, now we're going to be moving into my Virgos. Do we have any Virgos in the chat? Oh, yeah. No, I know. When you have allergies, it's a different story with pets. I mean, yeah, you got to put yourself first there. Oh, 2 dogs and 3 cats. So sweet. I know. My dog, she's a min pin, but she's adopted as well. She's adopted from a shelter. 8 kittens. Holy moly. Yeah. No, see, that's the thing. Cats will multiply very quickly. And that's what I'm worried. The one who stole my chicken breast the other night, she's definitely going to have kittens, but I kind of want to get her comfortable around me because I can't get near her. But I want her to get comfortable around me, so hopefully I can spay her in the future. Because also it looks like all of her kittens are females. I don't know, the ones that she had her last litter, I'm pretty sure are all females. So anyway, it's a problem. But I did find an organization here in the Dominican Republic that works with spaying and neutering strays. So I'm gonna see if I can organize a little jornada or a little spaying and neutering session here with the vets. We'll see. Oh, you're a Virgo with 7 stray cats. Weatherman, yay. All right, love from South Africa. Oh gosh, if I told you how many stray cats I had when I was in Santa Marta, and when I was in Colombia, you would, again, that's what I'm saying, like it's crazy, it's bonkers. But the problem is in certain places, once people know, animals too, but like once people know you take care of animals, I mean, they'll have a cat that will have kittens. And in my experience, I didn't go away for the weekend, because anytime I went away for a weekend, I would come back and there would be new kittens in my house or on my front doorstep. So they would take the opportunity to give me kittens that they didn't want, knowing that I, worked with foundations and things like that. And I would do everything in my power to, nurture them and make sure they were okay and get them sterilized and stuff. Oh my gosh. But anytime I went away, even if it was a day or two, and not just people, cats too. Cats are like, they love their colonies. So they also invite their friends over. Like, they don't normally fight over their food. If there's enough food, they're like, hey, they invite, their mom, their uncle, their brothers, their sisters, their first cousins in. And so that's where it can really start to get out of control. But anyway, but they're lovely. I mean, I love cats. I just think they're magical beings. But I'm actually more of a dog person than a cat person, to be honest. Oh, 2 black cat sisters. Oh, yes. Black cats are special too. I've had black cats and they were really awesome. They're different. Like, I mean, I know you can't say all black cats are the same, but I've had black cats are always, I don't know, and maybe it's because of the lore around them, but I always find them to be really magical, strong protectors of their owners. Weatherman, yeah, exactly. One morning you wake up and get ready, right? Months later, there's 14. All right, let's get going. Let's get into my Virgos. I know we have a Virgo sun. Emily, you said you're a Virgo. Sweet Carolina, you're a Virgo. Sophia, Ryan, I don't think I've said hello to you yet. Welcome in, my lovely Virgos. As I said, my bestie's a Virgo with an Aries rising. I love my Virgos out there. And as many of you know, I'm a Virgo rising. All right. So let's start with what your heart needs to release, my lovely Virgos. The Ten of Wands. Look at this. This is such a gorgeous card. It's such a gorgeous card for the Ten of Wands. It's one of my favorites. All right. What truth about love is being illuminated? We get the Knight of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Where you need to be bold in love, the Three of Pentacles. There could be somebody around you, Virgo. There may be somebody you need to express your love to, or it could be somebody around you who's like a friend or a coworker that wants to express love to you. What new energy is coming into your life? We see the Star card, Aquarius energy. All right, and we have the Hanged Man, Pisces energy coming through. All right, so your guidance is to have a more spiritual look here at things, to hang in there, to hold back, look at all the details. All right, with the Ten of Wands, what your heart needs to release, I feel like this is something really heavy. This is a relationship here that's been really heavy. You know, this feels like your first love type energy, or it feels like someone that, you know, oh, you really, you know, literally we see them putting their feet to the fire here. Like you put your feet to the fire for this person, walked over hot coals for this person. But I feel, but that in that position, it's like there's something about this connection that needs to be released. And maybe you compare others to this person or to this connection, because it kind of feels like a first love here for you, Virgos. Or maybe it's your last love or your last major relationship. Why do we have the Ten of Wands here? Yeah, and the World card. Yeah, it does look like there's been some sort of ending, but I feel like some of my Virgos, you're still keeping it alive, or you still feel like there's unfinished business here. I mean, that may or may not be the case. But it does look like this has been an ending with somebody that you still long for, somebody that you know, you may be nostalgic for this connection, even if you know it's not the right connection for you. Some of you, this is something really that happened long ago. That's kind of the message I'm getting. What truth about love is being illuminated? All right, the Knight of Cups. So it's possibly a love offer coming in, or maybe the truth about love, Virgos, it's time to move forward, to make some sort of love offer. Some of you may have even been, I know this is a little bit of a weird message, but some of you may have been denying this truth that you're ready to move on. And we see the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. So I feel like, I also feel like there's something about this past relationship that my Virgos, it's like what's being revealed is the love that you have for this person, but for some reason it didn't work out. It ended. And again, it might be your first love. It might be the last love you had. There's love there, is what I see with this Knight of Cups. There's love there. But it was something that wasn't allowed to move forward. And we can't always be with the person that we love. Okay? We can't always be with the person that we want to be with, because it feels like there's some sort of major block. All right? With the Three of Pentacles, where you need to be bold in love, some of you, there may be somebody around you with the Three of Pentacles. There may be somebody around you. It could be at work, it could be at school, it could be out and about in the community. Oh, speaking of cats. Hey, sorry, I know you guys can't see him, but he loves to sit on my computer, and he did just that. Here, we've got a little head for you. Coming in to mess with my live streaming. All right, that was Kaji. Sorry about that, but so there could be, so where you need to be bold in love, it could be someone here who's out and about in your community, somebody you work with, somebody you go to school with, somebody who's around you. It may be time to make a move here, Virgo, or accept this person's love offer. It feels like there's somebody here, it could be a friend who wants to be more. And maybe it's time for you to, like, you know, let them know that you're interested, or recognize that, you know, this could be something. And we see the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, it feels like some of you, this is an earth sign, another earth sign, or somebody with strong earth placements, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That somebody that you're really compatible with, somebody who's out and about in your community, that you need to, it feels like you know this person, or they know you. And it's about making this move here towards this person, because I'm seeing that you're like that there's potential stability here. And the energy that's entering your life, we have the Star card. So again, they could have Aquarius placements. This could also be healing from this heavy situation. I mean, it feels heavy to me, Virgo. It feels heavy, but like, I mean, like seriously, like that heaviness in my heart chakra. Someone you love that you can't be with, that you can't be together with. It's like that's being healing. That's being healed. And it looks like you have wish fulfillment. But I love this Aquarius energy, because Aquarius energy is really about thinking outside of the box. You know, and, you know, doing things differently. So this person might be quite different than whom you're normally used to dating, but they're really compatible, and there's potential for this longevity here. And yeah, this is going to shock and surprise you. Most likely it's happening between Scorpio and Aquarius season. So Scorpio season's upon us. October, November. So between like October and February, I think you're going to have a tower moment. Somebody coming in to really shock and surprise you, Virgo. All right, let's see who this person is, how you might be able to identify them. And like I said, for a lot of you, this person's already around you in some capacity, but they're going to shock you, whoever they are. Look at that. We get serendipity, and we have the tower moment, Aries Scorpio energy. This person's going to really shock you, Virgo, who they are, or the feelings that they have for you. They could be somebody retired. Again, we already went through this. I think it was a Gemini, but I don't remember. But somebody who has more personal time or flexibility in their schedule. They could be a little bit older than you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're 65 plus. It could indicate that they've had two careers, right? But it does look like they're a business owner. Okay, that's coming out again. And let's see, so they may own their own business, or they used to. And didn't I just mention the Gemini read, and out comes Gemini energy? So this is somebody who may be a Gemini or have those strong Gemini placements. They're the thinkers and the communicators of the Zodiac with many facets. Now, your guidance here for this Aries full moon is the Hanged Man. So don't feel any real need to rush. Things are going to be happening here in divine timing, but also to hold back and look at all the details. Because I feel like some of my Virgos haven't wanted to look at this situation, or like glossed over it, is what I'm seeing. Also, just recognize, you know, the Hanged Man is that you've been doing your spiritual work for this healing to take place, and that's going to be creating this space for this new connection. All right, so final guidance here for my Virgos under this full moon in Aries. Bring balance. You're putting too much energy into something, creating lack somewhere else. Take action now to correct the situation, or risk further imbalance, which could lead to undesired results. Some of my Virgos I am getting to with this Queen of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles energy. Some of you've been burying yourselves in work. And maybe a little bit like that Cancer energy, or what came through in the Cancer reading was like, you know, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to do me. I'm fine this way, which is a beautiful energy to be in. But when defense mechanism, and then we end up feeling lonely or ignoring loneliness, that's where there may need to be a little shift. But Aries full moon on bringing balance, Virgo. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending you so much love and light. Oh, Emily, I'm glad this reading gave you good bumps, goosebumps in the best possible way. All right, Susie, your ex is a Virgo. Yeah, I have to say, Virgo men are very different. I mean, I often find men and women in the signs very different. Virgo men are very different than Virgo women. De nada, sweet Carolina. All right, so we are on Libra. All right, Libra. Oh, a Libra moon. What does your heart need to release, Libra? Emotional baggage, fears, or past wounds? What do my Libras need to release? Okay, the Two of Wands. Okay, it does look like there's some sort of block here. All right, we'll see where that might be. What truth is being illuminated? The world. You're ready for a new beginning. Where do you need to be more bold? The Queen of Wands. Okay, she's all about boldness. What new energy is entering your life? Look at that. We're getting the King of Wands. You saw me shuffling this deck. So for Libra as well, you have the King and the Queen of Wands coming through. And your guidance is the Four of Pentacles, to hold back, to watch, and to wait. Now it does look like there's some sort of block in love here. Again, it may be in the heart chakra. It may also be in the solar plexus. All right, and so when our solar plexus is blocked, it can result in issues in that area, like digestive issues, stomach pains. It can be low self-esteem. It can be an overinflated ego, an inability to commit or to follow through with things. Okay, so that some of you may need to do some solar plexus healing, and we can do that. This is a great time to do it under this Aries full moon, because a lot of solar plexus healing can be done through meditations with candle, with candle or with fire. Also pay attention to your diet. Make sure you're eating foods that are easy to digest. Get out in the sunshine, right? If there is sunshine where you are, or if you can. And also work with the color yellow. Wear the color yellow. And some of you may need to work on strengthening your core, okay? Detoxing also can be really helpful, but it does look like there's a blockage here, and I am reading it as a blockage in the solar plexus for my Libras. All right, yeah, so there's definitely some sort of pain or heartbreak in the past that's been blocking you, and maybe blocking you from being bold and putting yourself out there. It could be somebody or a situation that was just very heartbreaking because there was betrayal, it didn't work out, or there was, some sort of loss, right? The truth that's being illuminated is that that's over with the World card. This situation is over, and it's time for a new beginning here, Libra. And with the Moon card, the path forward is being illuminated for you. You can trust your intuition. You can move forward. All right, where you need to be more bold, again, it's the Queen of Wands. Being bold is her MO, right? And you're calling in the King to your Queen of Wands. So again, a spiritual partnership, a sexy, passionate partnership, but a very compatible relationship here. So some of you, and I think this was in the Cancer reading as well, I do feel like with the Queen of Wands, it may be being bold about, putting yourself out there, looking and feeling like the best version of yourself that you can today or tomorrow, or working towards that, and then doing it, and then going out there, letting people know that you're looking for love. Tell your friends, tell your family, ask that girlfriend, guy friend, whoever it might be, to go out with you so that you can be more accessible. But it's about taking chances. Some of it's about following your passions, because remember, when we do something we're really passionate about, that's where we find other people who are quite compatible. All right, and some of you, this is about expressing yourself more clearly in the bedroom. All right, and we see the Three of Cups, but for a lot of you, it's about getting out of hermit mode and getting out there, making yourself accessible. And you know what, however that might be, it's like building that momentum to find the right person without needing to get emotionally invested in necessarily every person that you go out on a date with. So some of you, it is about, you know, the Three of Cups is about dating, but it's also saying yes more than no to when people ask you to go out, right? Or to go to a party, or, you know, to go have dinner with them, but saying yes more than no is what I'm hearing. Now, the energy that's entering your life here, Libra, is the King of Wands, so possibly an Aries, Leo, Sag person. I'm also seeing, you know, it's like a perfect match, a very steamy connection. The Ace of Swords is telling me it's somebody brand new. Now, the Ace of Swords sometimes can be a type of reconciliation for me, but I'm going to be reading this Ace of Swords as somebody, I think this person, I think this is somebody brand new. Now, I am seeing for some of my Libras, it may be up to you to make the first move here. Okay, it may be up to you to make the first move if that's something you're comfortable doing. All right, we see this person may be a traveler, or they've done a lot of traveling, or they want to travel, or they travel for work. They have great stories to tell about what they've been through. There's something here about this moon energy, Cancer, Pisces. So again, I'm kind of getting that by this Cancer full moon, you're going to know exactly who this person is. And then Pisces season is right around the corner, February, March. So it kind of feels like in the new year, which is 2026, I have to remind myself. This person could be a bit older or a bit younger than you. All right, my lovely Libras. And we get karmic soulmate. Now, I always say this, karmic soulmates don't have to be a bad thing. This is a connection where you're meant to learn lessons and help each other evolve, but those lessons don't have to be bad. They don't have to be painful. This can be somebody who teaches you to trust again, or somebody who teaches you that, you know what, it's okay. You know, it's okay to speak up about what you need or what you want in the relationship. All right. And we also see that there's going to be an intensity here, Libra. So somebody who's really intelligent, they're going to be super focused on you and the relationship. There's going to be a really strong intellectual connection here with this person. All right. So that, and again, I feel like it's early 2026 that you're going to be seeing, you know, that you're going to be seeing this shift in your love life or meeting this person. Now, your guidance under this Aries full moon is to focus on your stability and the Four of Pentacles. And it's not about necessarily you need to hold back and not go out and not look for love, but, you know, is focus on your stability and the things that bring you stability. Okay, and like, I'm just going to repeat, it doesn't mean that you don't go out and you don't have fun and you don't put yourself out there, because Spirit's saying you're definitely going to benefit from doing that. All right. Final messages here for my Libras under this Aries full moon. Trust in yourself. You've got this far, you've worked hard to get this far, and you have the ability to create the things you desire. Learning to trust in yourself and your abilities will take you to your highest timeline. And yeah, your highest timeline is when you meet this person. All right, and I think it's right around the corner there for my Libras. All right, so I'm going to leave it here, Libras, sending you so much love and light. And we're going to move right on into Scorpio. Yeah, Gemini glitters, you've been getting something about Pisces season. Yeah, it may be really pivotal for you. We're just going to give these cards a good shuffle before we move into Scorpio. I just want to say thank you, Nola Sunflower, so much for being on top of it and for moderating. It really means the world to me. You're just so sweet. And on top of it. All right. Ooh, yes, that's right. Forever grateful. I forgot that you're a Scorpio moon just like me. Susie, you're a Scorpio sun. Watch out. We have a Scorpio in the chat. I have another really good friend who's a Scorpio, and I love hanging out with her. She's fun. But she does not take any SHIT, I'll tell you that much. All right. Yes, thank you, Nola. Oh, yeah, Scorpio Venus. Scorpio Sun and Venus. That's intense. That's an intense placement. Absolutely. All right. So let's move right along. Oh, I believe it. I believe she's beautifully intense. I've known Scorpio Venus energy, and it is exactly like you said. It's a beautifully intense placement. All right, Scorpios, what does your heart need to release under this Aries full moon? So we have the Six of Pentacles. All right. What truth is being revealed or illuminated? King of Wands. All right. Where you need to be bold in love. Okay. Two of Pentacles. What new energy is entering your life? Look at that. The Emperor. All right. The Emperor. Aries energy. And what your guidance is under this full moon is the Knight of Cups. It looks like this full moon is bringing my Scorpios some romance, for sure. But with the Six of Pentacles here, what your heart needs to release is, it could be feeling alone, left out in the cold, some sort of disappointment. Now, this could be a particular relationship, or it could be a pattern that you've had, Scorpio, in being the one that gives and doesn't get anything back, or where you weren't in a situation that was evenly yoked. Yeah, and we see the Star card. Now, it could involve an Aquarius or an Aquarius person, but I do feel like Spirit saying that you may have experienced some sort of tower moment that really obviously shook you to the core, with somebody that I decided not to give to the connection anymore, that walked away, that left you holding the bag. Yeah, but I feel like there's something here around being in imbalanced relationships. And again, maybe it's just in relationships where you were with people that weren't pulling their weight. There's something around that is being healed here, is being healed or being released with this Aries full moon, or needs to be healed and released with this Aries full moon. The truth about love that's being illuminated. Now, obviously, you know, this Aries full moon could be bringing you an Aries person who's coming in to let you know how they really feel about you. But let's take a look and see what truth is being illuminated. We have illuminated, sorry. Yeah, the Five of Cups. Some of you, it is time to switch your focus away from the past, is what I'm getting. Because we see this Five of Cups, like he's focused on the disappointments that he's experienced. But what he's not seeing behind him is that Two of Cups, is that there's love here. So that there's a situation, Scorpio, that may have brought you to your knees. And you know what, Scorpios, you feel the deepest out of all the zodiac signs. You feel the deepest. So it does feel like what's being illuminated is that you can burn out. You can burn past this disappointment, this hurt, and this heartbreak, and like get your mojo back there with the King of Wands. And for others of you, something is being illuminated about a heartbreak or sadness with a particular fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. Now, where you need to be more bold, some of my Scorpios, you've been on the fence about love and relationships, about putting yourself back out there, or you haven't wanted to invest, But I feel like, and some of you, you may have fallen into an indecisiveness, not wanting to make a decision for fear out of making the wrong decision about with whom or where you're investing. All right. And we see the Page of Pentacles, so I'm going to double down on that, where you need to be more bold. Some of my Scorpios, you're not trusting that you've done your homework. And I feel like that's due to this particular situation where you felt you got burned, or you were, your heart got broken. But some of you, it's like you've done your homework. You can trust yourself, Scorpio. But I'm getting that you sometimes get stuck in that overanalysis paralysis. And Spirit saying, we need to come out of that energy. This Aries, and Aries is all about that. This Aries full moon is all about trusting yourself, going for it, even when you don't really know what the outcome is. But also that you can trust yourself because you can source your authority from what you've been through, Scorpio, even the things that maybe didn't work out the way you wanted them to. So what's coming into your life is we have Emperor energy. So some of my Scorpios, this is you bossing up. This is you stepping into your own Emperor energy. But for others of you, it's a very strong divine masculine energy or an Aries person. And we see the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, I'm not surprised because this is an Aries full moon reading. But the King and the Queen of Wands, I think they've come out every reading. And I'm thinking, am I not shuffling correctly? But no, it's the Aries full moon energy. Now, the Queen of Wands is a very good match for the Emperor. She's maybe not exactly the Empress, but she's definitely not a far cry. And so I feel like you have somebody, maybe they're a double fire sign or they've got a lot of fire in their chart, but somebody who's going to be somebody who's coming towards you, Scorpio, with this fire energy. And they're going to be attracted to the power that you've stepped into. All right. So let's see who this person is. Who is this person? Who is this person for my Scorpios? But I kind of feel like some of my Scorpios, you're also just stepping into your power. And you're moving out of that energy of indecisiveness or insecurity that looks like was formed from this hurt or this heartbreak that you're letting go of. Again, beautiful, perfect energy for the Aries full moon. I mean, that's what we ask of this Aries full moon. All right, so it could be somebody who's a bit older or younger than you. We also see Cancerian energy. But this is somebody who is strong, they're steady, they're dependable, they're predictable. This is a true leader. Your Emperor energy is attracting someone who's also in that Emperor type energy, or, Queen of Wands, Empress energy. Somebody who's going to take charge, exhibit confidence in their decisions. This is somebody who's done well for themselves. This is someone you're going to really also be able to rely on. So what your guidance is, Scorpio, under this full moon in Aries is the Knight of Cups, to go for it. There's romance here. And don't doubt it. You don't have to be indecisive about this person. In fact, I think this person is going to be very decisive, that they're going to also help you feel very confident in the way they feel about you, what they want from you. All right, so final messages, advice, and guidance for my Scorpios, please. We have authenticity. So be your divine self at all times. You weren't designed to fit in. Break away from expectations and fully express yourself in your own unique way, and you'll be a magnet for success. Yeah, and a magnet for this person, this relationship that wants to come towards you. All right, my lovely Scorpios, I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending you so much love and light. I'm looking at the chat. We are a bit crazy. In the best possible way. In the best possible way. All right, so we're going to be moving right on into Sagittarius. Any Saggies out there? Any Saggies in the chat? Nope, Sagittarius are off busy. Busy on this, what is it, a Monday night? Busy on a Monday night. I wouldn't be surprised if they're out busy doing things. Being social, my Sagittarius out there. Mars and Sagittarius. Ooh, Emily. You must be a bit of a fighter. But Saggies also cool down really quickly. I'll tell you, that's hard for a Cancer or someone with strong Cancer placements, because Saggies get fired up, but then then they let it go. Then they don't really care. They're over it. You know, once they speak their piece. And I truly admire that about Sagittarius, because it's like they don't hold those grudges. They just kind of move on. I love that. But as somebody with strong water placements, we don't work that way. We do not work that way. Oh, Cat do 22, Sag rising. All right. We do have some Saggy placements in the chat right now. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's see what messages, advice, and guidance come through for my lovely Saggies. So first we're going to take a look at what your heart needs to release. All right, so we see the 9 of Wands. Some of you, there may be some... Sorry, I was just reading Emily's message. Yeah, it takes a lot to get you mad, but then when you do, you get fired up. Yeah, but I bet you also get like calm quickly. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's just my experience with Sagittarius energy. All right, so for my Sagittarius, the 9 of Wands, some of you, I am getting, there may be a need for past life regression here. What truth about love is being illuminated? Leo energy with the sun, illumination. Where you need to be more bold in love, the Queen of Cups. Okay. What new energy is entering your life? The Page of Cups. Ooh. All right, you could have a water sign coming towards you. All right, and your guidance here or your affirmation is the Star card, Aquarius energy. Prepare to be shocked is what I'm hearing, Sag. Prepare to be shocked. You may have wish fulfillment coming in, but it may be coming in the form of getting somebody who's younger than you or somebody who has this younger vibe. The 9 of Wands tells me that your heart, some of you, you've been a bit guarded. The 9 of Wands is about being guarded, being defensive, the wounded warrior, someone who's been brought to their knees in love, and they're quite guarded. But I also feel for some of you, there may need to be some past life regression, some ancestral healing here, something that's been passed down to you that your mission in this lifetime may be to heal and clear that. So repeating patterns or traumas. And we see the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius energy. Yeah, this is a bit of a deeper message, but I am getting some of my Sag, it's your destiny to be a lineage breaker. There's something here that's been passed down to you, and you've been carrying it around, or it's in your DNA, it's in your DNA memory, it's in your energetic body, that you have come to break this chain. You have come to heal. And it has something to do with love and relationships. So a pattern or an energy that's been passed down to you, Sagittarius. The truth about love that's being illuminated, we have the Sun card, Leo energy. So it could be about a Leo person. All right. There could be some sort of truth about an ex, maybe an ex Leo, but it could also be somebody here that isn't talking to you. So somebody you've had a fight or an argument with. It can also be a secret admirer. This person could have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius placements. But I'm also seeing with the Queen of Swords showing up here, there's something that's been anchoring some of my Sagittarius in a lower vibrational timeline. And it has to do with what has been passed down to you. So again, this is not where we blame, our parents or our ancestors or anything, but we take initiative because your purpose here in this lifetime, Sag, has been to release that, to heal that. You heal it now in the present, you heal the past, and then you also heal the future. And I feel like exactly what it is going to be illuminated with you under this Aries full moon. Where you need to be more bold in love, the Queen of Cups. Remember, the Queen of Cups is all about intuition. So I feel like some of my Saggies, you need to really start trusting your intuition. You may need to be more creative when it comes to love. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if it's looking for love in different places, doing the things that you love, that you're passionate about. But I feel more so it's about trusting your intuition. And I just kind of, it keeps coming back to me about this energy, this what's been passed down to you. It's part of your life path and your life purpose here, Sagittarius, to heal what has been passed down to you so that it no longer keeps you blocked, it no longer keeps you stuck. I'm so sorry, I'm spitting. I don't know where that's coming from. All right, and yeah, and we get the King of Swords. Some of you, it is going to be really, it's about, and this came through in some of the other readings, but for my Sagittarius, some of you, this is about healing a situation with an ex or somebody that really hurt you, but not necessarily reconciling, because I'm not really getting reconciliation, but I'm talking about forgiveness here. And for some of you, it may be forgiving your parents. Okay, because we see the King and the Queen of Swords, especially for those of my Sagittarius who have, came from broken homes, divorced homes, things like that. I do kind of feel like there's some sort of forgiveness here that you may need to offer in order to start this healing. Some of you, it's about offering forgiveness to somebody who has hurt you. And again, it's not about saying it's okay that they treated you poorly or they did you dirty or they were abusive, but like recognizing where they were coming from, recognizing that it wasn't okay how they treated you, but offering them forgiveness so that you no longer carry it around with you. All right. The new energy that's entering your life. The new energy that's entering your life is the Page of Cups. So this is definitely something new. It doesn't feel like it's an ex. It could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. All right, and the Seven of Wands. It may be somebody who gets a lot of attention. It may be somebody who also gives you a lot of attention, but somebody here that really does want to fight for this connection. I am reading it as a new energy, although it certainly could be somebody from your past. But I'm reading it as a new connection. Somebody that really wants to fight for this connection, defend and protect you, defend and protect the connection. I'm sorry, I don't know if the chat just got reset. I have my cat stepping all over everything. I think he knows that I was talking about him or he's getting bored. So I do apologize if I reset the live chat. All right, let's see who this person might be. Now, it could be a past person, but I'm going to be reading. So somebody with strong fire in their chart, Aries, Leo, Sag. Possibly Aquarius energy. Look at that. We have the Star card. Definitely coming through a lot in tonight's readings. Somebody with a highly developed intellect. They're the sign, the pioneer of ideas, an engaging communicator. Capricorn. Again, this could also be happening around the Capricorn Aquarius cusp, right? So that would be in January, like towards the end of January. This person could have strong fire. They could have Capricorn Aquarius in their chart. And this is somebody here who's very solid. They're strong. They're dependable. They're steady. They're predictable. Now, your guidance here is healing. So to do this healing work, and remember, you heal yourself, Sag, you heal your ancestors. But again, there's something here about you being a lineage breaker. Trust that this is what you're here to do, that you were meant to do, and that you can do it, that you're on the path to doing it, to being a healer, to being a lineage breaker. All right. And your final advice and guidance here under the Aries full moon is healing. Wow, I love the synchronicities here. I mean, they don't surprise me, but I still love it when it comes through so synchronous. Your body, mind, and soul are in a period of deep healing right now. You're going through many transformations at once, and you're being asked to allow yourself to receive the healing you need with open arms and an open heart. And again, Sag, your healing is what's part of this soul path and purpose to be a lineage breaker, because your healing is contributing to healing the past, if that makes sense. All right. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care. All right, we are now moving on to Capricorn. Thank you, Nola. All right, I just need 1 second. Just had to eliminate the feline distraction here. All right, any Capricorn placements? Any Capricorn placements in the chat? My brother's a Capricorn. I love him dearly. We are so different. We are so different. Ooh, Capricorn moon, Vicky. Oh, did you like the meditation? I'm proud of the meditation. I did it myself as well, and I'm gonna do it again tonight. Oh, that really warms my heart. That warms my heart that you did the meditation. Can I ask you a quick question? Did you think the music was high enough, or should the music have been louder? Ah, Nola, you're a Capricorn rising. Oh yeah, and also my friend who does my nails, she's a Capricorn as well. I get along really well with Capricorns. I get along really well with Capricorns, but we're very different, and we're on the same axis though, so it makes sense that we do get along. But yeah, I love my Cappies out there. All right, let's get into this. Capricorn, what does your heart need to release? Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Okay, you couldn't hear the music. Yeah, I thought it came through like super, super low. It's something I do want to fix. But yeah, it came through super low. All right, my lovely Capricorns, what does your heart need to release here? Justice card, Libran energy. The truth about love that's being illuminated. We have the Page of Wands. Where you need to be bold or express your truth or set boundaries. We see the Four of Pentacles. Ooh, some of my Capricorns, you've been holding back. Yeah, and this is Sun in Capricorn. This card is Sun in Capricorn. Some of you've been holding back. You've been being a little bit stingy, my Capricorns. And I'm not getting with money, but more so maybe with your energy, with your time. Nothing wrong with that, especially if you don't feel like anybody deserves it, right? But some of you have been holding back a bit too much. The new energy entering your life, the 10 of Pentacles, holy smokes. So this could be something serious or somebody who has a lot to offer. And your guidance is to go for it. Knight of Cups, there's romance here. This is an energy of dedication with the Knight of Cups, but we'll have to dig a little bit deeper. So what your heart needs to release, your emotional baggage or your fear, your past wounds. Some of some of you, the Justice card can be, the shadow attributes of Libran energy can be being aloof or being a bit superficial. Now, I'm not saying that you're superficial, but it could be like keeping things at a superficial level because it's just easier that way, or because you don't want anybody. Energy really is caring what other people think. And so some of my Capricorns, you've been worried more. I don't think this is for all of you, but some of you have been worried more about what other people think or how something looks versus how something really feels. Okay, so with the Justice card, this is what you need to release. Also, there may have been a situation that was really unfair, and this could also be a situation where there was a divorce, okay, something that's been holding you back. Capricorn energy. Yeah, there may have been something that you thought was extremely in alignment with you, Capricorn, but that ended up being something very unfair or led to divorce or separation. I also feel there's karma that needs to be released, and we've heard this in a few of the readings, but how do we release karma is through forgiveness. First and foremost, forgiving ourselves, and secondly, forgiving others. Now, again, that's not saying it's okay that they, did you dirty or they treated you poorly. No, but it's like recognizing and giving them forgiveness so you don't carry that baggage around with you. All right, so there's definitely some karma there needing to be released with this full moon in Aries. The truth about love that's being illuminated, we have the Page of Wands. So again, this could be an offer coming in, but the Page of Wands is like somebody who really trusts himself. He's not always dressed appropriately, the Page of Wands, right, for the situation. Maybe he's a little bit overdressed, maybe he's a little bit underdressed, whatever it is, but it's like you do you, right? This is what the Page of Wands. He's showing up the way he feels comfortable. And so I feel like Spirit's saying, just like, this is about you being unapologetically you, Capricorn, not really worrying if anybody, if people approve or not. Okay, whether, not worrying about what other people might think, just being really unapologetically you. And we see the Eight of Swords. Some of you too, you've broken free of a karmic situation, and that's what's being illuminated with you. And Spirit saying you broke free from this. You no longer have to carry it around with you. And some of my Capricorns, you are still carrying it around with you. Like it's your burden to bear, but Spirit's saying, leave it at the door. Let this Aries full moon burn it up. You don't need to carry this around with you anymore. Forgive yourself, forgive others. The lesson has been learned. It's, the time has come for you to step onto this new timeline. All right. And where you need to be more bold is to quit holding back. All right. So again, putting yourself out there. If you've been holding back with a particular person, speak your mind, your truth. Yep. And the Seven of Cups. And some of you, you've just been holding back from dating. It does look like there are options around you or available to you, but your focus has been elsewhere, or you have been purposely ignoring these options. Now, it doesn't mean you have to pay attention to people you don't want to pay attention to, Capricorn, but it's like Spirit saying, don't hold back anymore. The options, you have many more options than you realize. Now, the energy that's coming into your life, we see the Ten of Pentacles. So this is either somebody who has a lot to offer, or there's potential here for something long-term and committed. And we see the Two of Pentacles. This could be somebody who's coming in that you don't see them coming. It could be a surprise. This could also be somebody who works just as hard as you, because if anybody works hard out there, it's definitely my Capricorns, also my Virgos, right? But Capricorns are one of the, if not the hardest working sign in the Zodiac. Now, you may be meeting somebody here. I do kind of feel like they could have that Nine of Pentacles vibe where they have everything they need. They may be dating, right? And it looks like, but Spirit's saying, don't necessarily let that put you off, because you're meant to go for it. You're meant to try it, even if it doesn't work out necessarily the way that you want it to. Now, by no means am I saying it's not going to work out the way that you want it to, because with this Ten of Pentacles, it very well could lead to something long lasting. But this person, I do kind of feel, it could be anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks is kind of the energy I'm getting here, that this person comes into your life. It might be somebody who, like I said, is in between jobs, somebody who has 2 jobs, is working a lot, or somebody who comes into your life kind of when you've got a full plate. All right, so let's see who this person might be for my Capricorns. But this is somebody who is going to choose to invest in you, okay? Who might this person be for my Capricorns? Somebody who does not have children, or their children are grown, or they're at a distance. Somebody who's really funny. So the laughter you share is going to be what really builds this bond. And we do see, okay, so they either want children, or maybe they are a father that their children are grown and have moved out, or their children are at a distance from them. We see that they're a solid person, they're stable and they're secure, and they could be an Aquarius or have Aquarius placement. So that intellectual connection is going to be there. That's why you two are going to laugh and get along really well. This is somebody who does things differently. This is somebody who's going to be an engaging communicator. And again, most of all, they're going to have you in stitches, Capricorn. Spirit saying go for it. You know, harness this Aries full moon energy to be more spontaneous, or to, you know, to stop holding back and to invest in what it is that you truly want. And for a lot of you, it may be this partnership or partnership in general. So your final advice here is dependence. Okay, that kind of came flying out. And there's something or someone you're clinging to, and it's keeping you from stepping into your light. You have everything you need to succeed, and the only approval you need is your own. Yeah, that was the message earlier. Don't give any weight or water or whatever the phrase is to what other people think. The only approval you need is your own, Capricorn. I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not leaving you. I'm going to leave it there, Capricorn, sending you so much love and light. Take care. Ooh, I like that for you, because, you know, sometimes my Capricorns do, you know, you hold back, you get a little bit knotted up there. And this Aries full moon is meant to sort of loosen up some of those knots, for lack of a better metaphor. All right. All right, we are moving into Aquarius. There's been a lot of Aquarius reading coming, a lot of Aquarius energy coming through in all of the decks that I've been using. So this may be an important read for my aquas here. Let's see. How's everyone doing out there in the chat? You guys doing okay? This is, you know, I said it earlier and I meant it. I thought this was going to be a shorter live reading. And here we are. How far are we into it? Over 2 hours. Oh my gosh. Well, as long as we're all enjoying ourselves, I think that's the important part. And I just feel really honored, everyone who's here now, who's been here, who's coming later for the Aquarius Pisces reading, or, you know, at a later date. I'm just so honored that you guys show up for me. That means so much to me. So thank you. All right, Vicky, Aquarius Sun, let's go ahead and get into this. So what your heart needs to release. The Knight of Wands, okay, so possibly a fire sign, maybe someone who rushed in and out of a connection, or maybe you have a tendency to rush in and out of connections. Okay, what truth about love is being illuminated here? We see the Two of Swords. Yep, something you haven't been, there's some sort of truth coming to you, something you haven't been seeing. All right, where you need to be more bold in love, the Knight of Pentacles. All right. What new energy is entering your life? See, there's that Ten of Pentacles again, same as Capricorn. And we see the World card. What guidance? Yeah, you're ending a cycle here. You're ending a cycle here, Capricorn. And perfect. Full moons. Aries energy is always about starting something new. I'm going to be reading this Knight of Wands more so as your energy, Aquarius. More so as you possibly rushing into things, or possibly being a bit more focused on the physical. And maybe not aligning quite correctly with the right. Let me see if I can say that again. rushing into things or being a bit more focused on the physical or I guess I just want to say like on the superficial, the version of someone that they portray, right? So I feel like this Knight of Wands is like needing to release, either being too focused on the physical or rushing into things with people who aren't really who you think they are. All right, that maybe made a bit more sense. Yeah, and with the Chariot card, some of you, there's a need for a breakthrough here. There's a need for a breakthrough because I kind of feel like there's like this Knight of Wands is rushing in, and then the Chariot card brings us to a full stop. And it's like there needs to be a breakthrough here in this habit or in this pattern when it comes to love. Now, for some of you, there could be a fire sign, a connection that either it was long distance or it came to abrupt stop that's created some hurt or some heartbreak here for my Aquarius that still needs to be healed or needs to be released with this Aries full moon. Now, the truth that's being illuminated here is something here has been blocking your forward movement, and it's time to release it. 10 of Wands. Some of you, this could be you've been burying yourselves in work, okay, and not really dealing with the stuff that needs to be dealt with. Some of you, you know, with this 10 of Wands, it's like there's something here that's been weighing you down or that's been blocking you. Something that's been really holding you back and maybe trapping you in this pattern of like stop and start or rushing in and then things coming to an abrupt stop, or really falling hard for someone and then being like, oh no, I don't like this person at all, right? Or they're not who I think they are. So there is something about this full moon in Aries that's being illuminated about what has been blocking you and what does need to be released. It could be a pattern or it could be something that you're still healing. Now, this healing could be something that comes from childhood, or it could just be, you know, a pattern that's been created in relationships. With the Knight of Pentacles here, where you need to be more bold or where you need to express your truth or set boundaries or take the first step, what I'm getting is kind of not really any of those, but more so the Knight of Pentacles is to go slow, to move slowly, to not invest too quickly. Take your time vetting the people that you're allowing into your life. Magician energy, recognizing that you have everything that you need to be happy and to have the right relationship. But you may need to move slowly, and you are manifesting that. But I kind of feel like you start to manifest this, Aquarius, and then you get a little bit sidetracked or you get a little distracted. So I feel like Spirit's saying like having stronger focus or being very clear, very, very clear, even maybe writing it down, what it is that you want and what it is you need. And not to be too strict or stringent about what those qualities are that you're looking for in a person or a relationship, but really almost holding yourself to it. Because I feel like some of my aquas, you get a little bit distracted. And you might get distracted by a pretty face, you know, or somebody you find to be very sexy or fun or exciting. But then I feel like it ends in disappointment, or you realize quickly like, oh, this isn't the right connection for me. And I feel like that's creating delays and detours for you calling in the right person or meeting the right person. Now, we do see that the energy that's under this Aries full moon is this 10 of Pentacles. So somebody who has a lot or somebody looking for long-term commitment. And we see the 5 of Swords, Venus and Aquarius energy. This is also somebody who's going to be quite cutthroat about what they want, what they need, and what they accept into their life. And I actually feel like some of my aquas, and I'm not saying my Aquarius don't have standards, because I do know you do. Okay, like I know you have standards for sure. But I feel like sometimes like you might, you know, like you know what you want, you know what your standards are, but then when something's really fun or different or exciting, you're like, I'm just going to go with it and see how it goes, right? And I feel like then you're not as discerning in that type of situation. So I do think with the 5 of Swords, obviously, you know, this person could come in a Venus and in Aquarius transit. I don't know when that is. You can, you know, look it up. But I also just feel like you've got somebody who has a lot and they're quite guarded about whom they allow into their life. And they're quite guarded about protecting what they have, but they're certainly open to sharing it with the right person. And I feel like Yeah, and I feel like this person is going to be seeing you as this magician, seeing you as somebody that checks all of their boxes. But it may be something that takes a little bit more time than you're used to. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see who this person might be. Now, obviously, it could be somebody around you. It could be somebody brand new coming into your life. It could be somebody from your past. But this is somebody who's a mediator. They help guide people through difficult circumstances. So they're the person that their friends and family go to when they need help. Maybe they do this for a living. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a counselor or a guidance counselor or a therapist, but this is their role. Okay, so again, this is somebody who's very methodical, but not close, right? This is somebody who does not have children, and they could be a Scorpio or have strong Scorpio placement. So being very fiery, very passionate, protective, loyal. And I said fiery because Scorpios are fiery in their own right. If you've ever been stung by a Scorpio, and I certainly haven't, I'm talking about literally the insect. I've been stung, I think maybe 3 or 4 times. Back when I was living in Colombia, and it burns. It feels like fire. It actually feels like electricity. So, so if I say Scorpio is fire, they are. Anyway, but this is somebody fiercely protective and loyal. They stand strong in their convictions. They're going to defend you. They're going to defend their position, but they're also going to defend the relationship. And we see that this person has strong air in their chart. So this is going to be a really strong intellectual connection. And I do kind of feel like, I do think you're going to be very physically attracted to this person, but I almost feel like they might not be like what you normally consider your type. But I feel with like a little bit of a slow burn here, you realize, wow, this is really truly somebody who's compatible with me. And that Scorpio energy also tells me there's going to be strong physical chemistry between the two of you. So what guidance this full moon in Aries is telling you is it's time to bring a cycle, a heavy cycle, to an end. Something here has been blocking you, has been or is being illuminated with this full moon. Something here needs to change. I kind of feel like, you know, don't take this the wrong way, Aquarius, but I feel like you need to like honor yourselves more and like your wants and your needs. But I'm not getting that you do yourself any dishonor. Like you're not doing things that, you know, you're not proud of or you don't like, but that kind of just don't end up working out for you. And I feel like Spirit's saying in some way you kind of know it when you start it, but because you're curious and you're excited about the new adventure, you want to go for it anyways. And Spirit's saying just try to like pull back a little bit on that. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to stop having fun adventures and trying new things, no way. But like, you know, close out this cycle because there's something about that has been blocking you. Your advice and guidance under this Aries full moon is to have faith, Aquarius. It's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Yet still, you must do exactly that. Because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. All right. Hey, Lucy, I see that you've entered the chat. Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so I'm going to leave it here, Aquarius. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care. All right, we are moving on to Pisces. Hey, Lucy. All right, Pisces, last but not least. Ooh, Pisces moon, Emily. That's a lovely placement. That means you are intuitive. Hello, Sea Pumpkin. Welcome in, Pisces. I love your handle, Sea Pumpkin. That's really sweet. My current partner is Pisces. I love my Pisces out there. I love my Pisces. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a look at what your heart needs to release first. Clear messages, advice, and guidance, please, for my Pisces with this full moon in Aries. Sorry about that background noise. All right, we see the Ace of Wands. So there could have been some sort of rejection. Okay, maybe you're feeling rejected, or maybe you had to reject someone. Some of you also, I'm getting, you may have had low life force energy. Okay, so like just not having the normal energy that you're used to or that you want to have. A truth about love that's being illuminated. I do think that there has been some sort of ending, but Spirit's showing you that this ending or this rejection has brought you, or is bringing you, balance. Like this was something that wasn't meant for you. Where you need to be bold, we see the Two of Swords. Okay. What new energy is entering your life? We see the Seven of Wands. Pay attention to double sevens, a really strong spiritual number. Your angels, your guides around you, protecting you. And your guidance is the Nine of Wands. You've been the wounded warrior. You may have been knocked down, but you're going to get right back up, Pisces. Or maybe not right back up with the Two of Swords. You may need to take some time here to heal and to assess, because it looks like there has been some sort of rejection. And again, maybe you had to reject someone that you really cared about, or maybe somebody here rejected you. Oh yes, Nola, Sunflower, your favorite people seem to be Pisces. Pisces are lovely people. If I may say so myself. I love my Pisces. They're wonderful. For the most part. Not all of them, but yes. I agree. All right, Ace of Wands. So my Pisces here, what your heart needs to release is there's been some sort of rejection. Yep, Six of Cups. From a soulmate, somebody that you really felt connected to, somebody that maybe you were in a long-term relationship with, or someone you just felt a really, really strong soul tie, something that was sweet, something that seemed compatible, perfect is what it felt like. But there's something there that needs to be, there's been this ending, okay, and it's created some hurt or some heartbreak. So the truth that's being illuminated is that this didn't happen to you, Pisces, it happened for you, because it's ultimately going to bring you balance. Yeah, and the Seven of Wands. This is you being protected. 777. Your angels, your guides are protecting you, Pisces, by this not working out. Whatever this was, like the divine stepped in here, like in a very big way to protect you. And you might not be seeing that right now. Okay, and I feel like it will be illuminated with you, or illuminated for you, to you. My English grammar has gone out the window. But it will be illuminated to you, but after a time of holding back. Okay, so it may take some time for you to actually see this. Some of my Pisces here, where you need to be bold in love, is you've been holding back for some time now, healing from this situation, coming to terms with the fact that like there's such clear evidence here in the reading that the divine stepped in to take this connection off of your path to protect you. Okay, and you might not see that now, but you will be seeing it soon. And some of you have been holding back for quite some time. And I'm not saying to go against how you feel or to force yourself to do something you don't want to do, but it may be time to put yourself back out there. And, you know, some of you may want to work with the throat chakra, okay, is what I'm getting strong with this Two of Swords. And the throat chakra, I mean, obviously it talks about, you know, the throat chakra is about expressing yourself, speaking up. So there may be something here that you've left unsaid that you need to say to someone in particular. But I also see the throat chakra as putting yourself out there. Some of you haven't been allowing people access to you. And it may be time to harness this full moon in Aries energy about being bold, and putting yourself out there. Okay, that's kind of the message I'm getting. Some of you too, you may need to set strong boundaries with someone here. Okay, whether it's a friend, a family member, or of course you could be in a relationship with this person. All right, and we see the Lovers card. Yeah, some of my Pisces, you've been indecisive for a while. Indecisive about whether or not you want to look for love. Indecisive about a particular relationship. Is it something I'm really ready to let go of? Because I can see the nostalgia here. I can feel it. It's like I feel like I don't want to let go of this relationship, because if I admit it, if I let go of it, it means it's really kind of over. And Spirit's saying, but this ending really has happened, and it has happened for your protection. Some of you with the Lovers card, you've been in an energy of indecision. And that can be the shadow attributes of Pisces energy. When Pisces are feeling a little bit imbalanced, it can be like, the hardest thing to make a decision. But I also feel like there's somebody new. Now, it could be a Gemini, but I also feel for some of my Pisces out there, there's somebody that you also are starting to feel a strong soul tie and soul connection to. And can I say something that's really weird? Some of you, even though this past connection is over, some of you feel like you're cheating. Like you might even feel like you're cheating. I know that is not going to resonate with all of you, but some of you feel like you're cheating by moving on from this situation. Or you never thought you would move on from this past situation. And I feel like there's somebody here that's sparking your interest, or will be sparking your interest. But I feel like where you need to be bold is making a decision to look for love, to actually allow yourself to look for love and to take those steps. Because some of you haven't been allowing yourself to do so. Sorry that took me forever to get to that message. It's getting late. I do apologize. All right. But what new energy is entering your life is the Seven of Wands. See, look at this Seven of Wands, a very different energy than this Seven of Wands. This Seven of Wands is a very defensive energy. Okay? This Seven of Wands, he's going for it. He's fighting. He's breaking those limitations. He's letting down those walls and barriers. He's letting himself out of this energy. He's fighting his way out of it. And I feel like that's you. Now, it could also be somebody here who's very bold and fiery that's coming in to fight for you, Pisces. And that person could be a Scorpio. Okay? It could... Now, I don't, after everything I've said, I don't want to go in and say, oh, it could be somebody from your past. Because the message here is to break free, to put yourself out there, to be decisive about love, and to really go for it. Okay, so I'm going to be reading this as a Scorpio energy. Somebody that really wants to fight for you and fight for this connection. All right, let's see. How will my Pisces be able to identify this person? Could be somebody who's around you. Somebody who maybe has even been watching you go through this, Pisces. Somebody who, this may begin as something casual or friendship that evolves over time. This card wants to come out. Somebody who's retired. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're 65 plus, but it could be that they've had 2 careers, or they have more flexibility in their schedule. They could be slightly older than you, so just take that how it resonates. But that card has come out a lot in our readings. Sagittarius energy. This person is a teacher and a knowledge seeker, somebody bold and fiery, comfortable leading others. They could also be a Sagittarius Scorpio cusp. This person could also, or this energy could be really coming into your life, Pisces, around the Scorpio Sagittarius turning point. All right, and we also see that this could be somebody who's entrepreneurial, somebody who puts their ideas to work for them. They work hard, they're investing in their future, but it may start off as a friendship and then it ends up leading to more. Now, the advice for you under this Aries full moon is the Nine of Wands. You are the wounded warrior. There is a need, yes, to protect your energy, but you're not down for the count. All right? And I'm also getting, the Nine of Wands is my past life soulmate card. Recognize that this relationship here, this rejection that you're mourning, most likely has past life soulmate ties. Okay? And that's why also it may have had such a hold on you. All right, so let's go ahead and see what your final advice and guidance is under this Aries full moon. All right, reflection. See, this came out for Gemini energy. All right, Pisces, under this Aries full moon, you're being asked to reflect on your recent choices. What lessons have they taught you? Reflection is the mirror to your soul's growth. Use it to deepen your understanding and your intuition. So take this time to reflect, to do that inner work. But I see somebody here coming towards you as soon as you make that decision to put yourself out there and to allow yourself to let go of this past energy. All right, my Pisces, I'm going to leave it here. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care. All right, everyone, that has wrapped up our Aries full moon love messages. I do hope you enjoyed them. I also just want to say thank you to everybody who's been here for the duration, or even if you stopped by just for a few seconds. It is greatly appreciated. And I know I say it a lot, but I really truly mean it. I am more than honored to spend this time with you guys and to feel your love and to be able to chat with you and share some experiences and learn a little bit more about, each and every one of you. Yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so, so much. Don't forget to check out the other channel, Sacred Affirmations. I do have posted the Aries full moon meditation. And also I have the channel in Spanish, Afirmaciones Sagradas. I did not, and I'm kicking myself, but I just didn't have time to do the meditation in Spanish, so I am going to skip this Aries full moon version in Spanish, but hopefully this will be the only time that I'm doing that. I just got a little bit stuck. So I just got a little bit overwhelmed. I had a lot of work this past weekend. But I just want to say again, thank you, love and light to all of you. You're amazing. A special, huge thanks for Nola Sunflower for being here again and being our moderator. And, in Spanish, we would say animadora, which is like a cheerleader or but it's more than that. Like you animate the crowd, you get people going and you keep people on track. So I truly appreciate you, Nola Sunflower. And like I said, everybody who showed up in this chat or in this live stream, and I hope to do another one soon. I don't know exactly when it will be, but I'll try for maybe next week. But if not, it will be, I'll try to do it for the new moon in Libra, which is about 2 weeks away. But if you can get outside and take a look at that beautiful harvest moon, it's a super moon, it's giant, and and just set your intentions with this full moon. All right, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much, forever grateful. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Renata. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Love and light. I'll see you soon. Take care.